why is it that Asian kids perform so well at school? Why is it that we are often, the class toppers in a medical college, medical school, or in engineering? Is it that we are, as immigrants, we try and do much better than people around us, or is it that our parents are to blame? That mom and dad will not take anything less than the best, less than A or A plus, or any grade that is even higher than A plus if it exists. I'll start with a mum. Tell me, ma'am, here we are with three really intelligent, really smart, three girls who are studying to be doctors. And they've been telling me about their achievements in lots of other things as well. Tell me, is it Asian parents tend to be very ambitious for their kids? They want them to do really well at school?
First of all, thank you for giving this opportunity to talk about our children, Asian children, and the performance and the background, and just to know how things are with it. I think as an Asian family, probably this is an honest answer, we tend to set goals very high, and at some point we expect our children to do the same.
Do you think on the whole Asian parents are more strict in general? Are they like, sorry, where's your A? Why have you not got an A at school?
Probably not, but I think the way we have brought up, we try to implement a little bit for our children too, but we are opening our own eyes being immigrants here, and to embrace the way how the other country is doing. It might be kind of difficult situation there to balance those, and we maybe not strict, but I think throughout the younger days we might set a little bit higher goals. To one or the other way we might try and say, look, this would be better if you do this way. Maybe a guidance, but still I feel a little bit of, goal setting. Probably, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ma'am, tell me, do you think Asian parents are strict? Are you strict at home? Are you sort of
really.
a no-nonsense kind of mum?
No, not really. I am very friendly mother. I do give opinions when
Your daughters are kind of nodding-ish, so we'll have to ask there.
Yeah, I am friendly because I want my children to open up. They have to feel that I am always there for them, whether it is in good or bad, whatever it is. If it's bad, I will give my opinion and example.
But at the same time, are you also pushy in terms of how they do at school, or what kind of marks they score, about their performance, academic performance? Do you monitor that really closely?
No, we did initially until they were 11 years old. And after that, the dad or me, we never checked how they are, because by then they developed the system of
self-discipline.
They understood education is important. So after that, after 11-year-old, they don't need further pushing or something else, because they know the importance of study, and education is important for them.
Okay.
It is
Let me ask the younger crowd. I mean, we're all young, obviously, at heart. But let me ask both of you: is this true that generally Asian kids do really well at school? I mean, you usually don't find, when you look at the kind of toppers lists in schools, at universities, usually you always find lots of Asian names in the list of toppers. Is that true?
I think it's true for most cases. There are obviously exceptions, but yes, Asian children do seem to do better.
Why do you think so? I mean, as bright young people who are studying to be doctors, what is your analysis? I mean, why do you think Asian kids do well at school?
Well, I think it depends. We have obviously had experience in the science fields. I think Asian children have a great aptitude for scientific fields.
Do you think so?
Well,
on the whole?
On the whole, I've seen more people who choose scientific fields than humanities. So for us, maybe they're following their passions more, and they have a greater passion for science. Obviously, they'll achieve more in science. For me, that's the explanation why we do so well. But
what about you? I mean, I know both of you are twins, but you don't need to give me the same answers just because you're twins. So what do you think? Do you think it's to do with parents? Do you think it's to do with kind of the cultural thing that, as a second generation immigrant, you feel as if you have something to prove still, and you want to do really well at school and in your career to be able to say that, listen, we've arrived in many ways?
Yeah, I think for some people there is that parents pushing, but in our own experience it's always been like our parents, both of them, have taken a more relaxed approach, and I think just knowing that they care, but that they're not pushing, allows me to sort of find my own interest. I'm not being, like, for medicine, they didn't exactly say, go for medicine. They said, I think you are good at maths. If you want to go for maths, you can. I'm like, no, I want to do medicine because it's something that I'm passionate about. But I think it would be
But do you
foolish.
think on the whole Asian students study harder as well, and they feel as if they really want to achieve more and are more passionate about their goals?
Yeah, I think in general, yes. There are some students from England who also show that sort of characteristics. But in general, they do seem to show a lot more enthusiasm and drive.
When it comes to academics and academic achievement. Well, what about you? I mean, tell me, are you the brightest kid in your class? I shouldn't say kid, no, I'm sorry. Are you the brightest student in your class?
Well,
One of the brightest.
I've just kind of gone into a new class in medicine, and there's 308 other people who are equally bright. Because I mean, for medicine, the cutoff point is like that. But and it kind of depends on like what.
Are they all Asian?
You'd be surprised how many actually are Asian.
Because I said it as a joke, so.
No, you'd be surprised how many are Asian.
Really?
So, but there are, because I'm in Cardiff, so there's more Welsh students as well because of the government funding and the government kind of pushing Welsh students towards medicine. So in that sense, I may have less of a ratio of Indians, but I was kind of surprised about the number of Indians.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And why were you surprised? Because isn't it that come on, I mean it's to be taken for granted. Indians, medicine. Come on.
See, my case is slightly different because I live in the southwest of England where there's hardly any Indians. We kind of joke that we're the only Indians in our area. So for me, I hadn't actually seen many Indians at all in England unless I came to events like this. But when I went there, it kind of hit me. Like, even my friend to this day asks me, how come you never had a friend in your school who was Indian? Like, how did you grow up without having like an Indian friend? I'm like, I managed. I had nobody else Indian in my class. And my school was huge. It had 2,000 students. And within that, there was about 4 Indians.
Wow.
So
There are still areas in the UK where this still does exist. Huh? Okay, but tell me one thing. I mean, on the whole, when you see the Indian community and you kind of talk to students, do you think they take their studies very, very seriously? And does that have to do something to do with parents, or is it just kind of a cultural conditioning?
I think majority of majority of my friends and everybody else I kind of talk to, we kind of have the same mentality that we're kind of here to study. It is that mentality that you're here to study and you're here to get your degree sort of thing, but we also like to take like a balanced life approach as well. I mean, you study, but you also have to kind of do some extracurricular stuff, and like we play tennis and stuff like that too. But majority of the people I've spoken to are there for kind of get their degree and do well.
Serious students.
Yes, they're not just there just because they want to try out medicine and see if it's for them. They're there just because they know medicine's for them. They have to do well, and they're gonna try their best.
They suppose after the medicine they come back to you and say that, listen, we've decided to embark on a career in Bollywood. How would you respond?
Well, it is still good because ultimately,
They have their degree at least.
ultimately, at the end of the day, they should love what they're doing. So I think pushy parents, Asians, still there are, but I don't think personally that is going to. I mean, it will affect the children, but maybe you have to acknowledge, what they like and then support them. So that is the whole thing of,
Okay, what about you, ma'am? If your daughters came back and said that, listen, actually,
I'll be really happy because I was not really keen that they are going into medicine because they are doing now studying Bharatanatyam. I always said, okay, you finish your career in medicine because that is your interest, but always go back and start a school in Bharatanatyam and teach some. Always, because you have to have a
You're the antithesis to all of this discussion. You're like, do medicine if you want to, but how about dance?
dance because I love this and they are about in the final stage. I said, once you finish that, take 1 year gap year, go and finish your diploma somewhere.
Oh my gosh, are you the model Asian mom or what?
You can just ask them. I always said that because I know medicine is not easy. It's really stressful. So I think you take the medicine bit. But whenever if you are not thinking you can't cope with that, always rely on your one more subject is there. You can go for that.
Very nice. And have you all been thinking of, have you all been planning your gap year of Bharatanatyam dance in school?
No, I think medical studies is a bit hard for us to divert her attention, but it's always on the back of our mind.
That I always said that.
She does recommend a career in dance.
Tell us more about dance than our studies. So.
Very nice. Great stuff. So nice discussion, and this whole stereotype about pushy Asian parents, I think in many ways is changing. With a lot of parents recognizing that you can actually take a year off and do Bharatanatyam in the middle of a medical course, or it's also about pursuing what you really like to do and what your passion is.